What up, everybody? Welcome back to Operation Moksha. As always, I'm your host, Chris Roscoe, and today we're going to be talking about how to build confidence. What the fuck does that even mean? There's confidence in your ability to do something, and then there is just confidence in who you are as a person, as well as confidence socially. And I think most of the time when people talk about how to build confidence, they're talking about how to build social confidence. Because so many people, especially after the pandemic, are just so enraptured in social anxiety that they don't know what the fuck to do with themselves. And so if you want to learn more about social anxiety, I do have another video about it. If you need to build your confidence in your ability to do something, just practice the thing. Like if you want to be confident in your ability to play the guitar, well, you should probably play the guitar a bunch, and then eventually you'll get confident with it, and it's not that big of a deal. If you want to learn how to get confident in doing a thing, just do the thing. But what I'm going to talk about is the kind of confidence where you can walk into any room, be completely comfortable, feel really good about yourself, be yourself, even if other people don't like you, even if other people make fun of you, you just get to feel really good about who you are and have a good time wherever you're at, whoever you're around. And I think that's the kind of confidence that everybody wants, and it feels really elusive to a lot of people because it's like, looking around at your life, how many people do you know that actually have that? It's a pretty rare trait, and a lot of people that do have it are faking it. This is something that I noticed really early on when I was a kid. I would look at all the people that were happy all the time, and even as a kid, I was like, that ain't right. I know you're hiding some shit. And I was right, because those same people would have these massive meltdowns, and I'd be like, okay, I knew that shit. So you can pretend to be more confident than you actually are. And you can do this thing that a lot of people do is they'll show up to a social event and they'll be confident for like 2 to 3 hours and then completely exhaust them. And then they have to go be alone for another 2 weeks in order to be able to manage another 2 hours. That's not actual confidence either. That is just pretending as long as you can stand to before you have to rebuild your batteries so you can go pretend again. That's not actual confidence. Actual confidence is when you can walk into any room with any people, feel completely comfortable, and feel really good about yourself. And that's what I want to help you develop. What happens when you walk into a room that has you not feeling confident? And you're essentially having all of your identities and all of your beliefs about yourself, the world, and the people that you share it back, mirrored back to you from the moment you walk into the room, and you have it mirrored back to you before you even get to the room. You know that whole meme about people that are like, oh my God, I made plans and then like my friend canceled and now I'm so happy because I get to just get back in bed.
6:30, dinner with me. I can't cancel that again. 7 o'clock, wrestle with my self-loathing. I'm booked. Of course, if I want the loathing to 9, I could still be done in time to lay in bed, stare at the ceiling, and slip slowly into madness.
There's a whole generation of people that would rather be in bed than go out and meet people and get opportunities and have fun and go on adventures and do all kinds of shit. And don't get me wrong, I love being in bed. But when you have the opportunity for an unlimited adventure at your fingertips and you're like, no, I'd rather stay in bed. Like Jesus Christ, the amount of shit that we can do as compared to what the people in history are capable of doing, people would kill to be able to do half the shit you can do now. And we're spending all of our time in bed because we're all uncomfortable. It's bullshit. We all know deep down we would rather be able to walk into a room and feel comfortable. So what stops that from happening? Because what happens is the moment you think about walking into the room, you probably get anxious. You probably get uncomfortable. You probably think, oh boy, do I not want to do that? Would I rather be in bed? Would I rather be playing video games or doing literally anything else? And so the moment you start perceiving that you will even be in a room, all of the parts of your personality that tell you that you suck and that nobody likes you and all that sort of shit, they all start to get really loud. And that's what you're really dealing with. Your lack of confidence is all the parts of your personality that disagree with one idea. It's okay for me to be who I am. I like who I am. That one idea of it's okay for me to be who I am, that is the one idea that you need integrated in order to be comfortable wherever the fuck you are. And all of your doubts and insecurities are all the parts of your personality that disagree with that one statement. All it really is the ability to be yourself. When you walk into a room and you can just be who the fuck you are and you don't really care what other people think about it, that is confidence. Any part of you that deters from that is a part of you that says, it's not okay for me to be who I am. And so you walk into a room and you are your natural self, but there's all these voices in your head telling you not to be that. Or like, if you say this thing, they're gonna hate you, or they're gonna reject you, or they're not gonna like you, or they're gonna do all these things and all these bad, horrible things will happen. They'll kick you out of the community. Your boyfriend or girlfriend will break up with you because you're such a dumb piece of shit. Or like all these different different things go through your head. And what they are is pointing you to all the different parts of your personality that disagree with that one main sentence of, it's okay for me to be who I am. That's probably not that surprising to you. Like, everybody knows that's what insecurities are, is all the parts of us that we don't like and all the parts of ourselves that we want to keep hidden and we don't want people to see. Like, that's not news to you. Everybody knows that. However, what to do about that may be news to you, because there's not a whole lot of people that really understand this. So this is going to be the good shit. All the parts of your personality that say it's not okay for you to be who you are, those are all the parts of your personality that you've said it's not okay for you to be who you are. Those are all the parts of your personality that you've said it's not okay for you to be who you are. All those parts of your personality that don't like you, they don't like you because you've pushed them away. They don't like you because you've told them they don't belong here, that there's no reason for them to exist. They don't belong inside the internal community or family or whatever you want to call it. You've banished them off to the shadows, and now they're like, hey, wait a minute, people might not like us. I'm not all that liked. I'm not all that loved. I'm not all that appreciated. So what reason do I have to think that if I walk into this room, I'm gonna be loved and appreciated and cared for when I've literally been rejected and pushed into a deep, dark corner for as long as I've existed? Like, of course that's what they're gonna think. That's the only way they've ever been treated. It's the only reference point they have. So the way out of this is to make peace with the parts of yourself that like you the least. And this is the hardest part about it. This is the counterintuitive thing that a lot of people don't understand. Because when they talk about building confidence, they think, oh, I should just like puff myself up and say really good things about myself. They kind of confuse it with arrogance or narcissism or overcompensating nonsense. But that's not what real confidence is. Real confidence is coming from being able to say, like, yeah, even if you don't like me, even if you hate me, even if you make fun of me in front of my friends, I'm still gonna like myself, and it wouldn't matter what you think or what you do. And the only way you can get to something like that is by taking all the parts of your personality that thinks that no one's gonna like them and love them so much that the idea stops making sense. Because when you have a part of yourself that says nobody's gonna like me, and it's saying that because you've never liked it, so why the fuck would it think anyone else would? You constantly telling it doesn't deserve to exist and needs to go into its corner box somewhere. It only thinks that's how it's gonna get treated. So when you flip the script and you start treating it lovingly, unconditionally, it starts to get used to that. Oh, this is my new normal. I'm used to being treated kindly. I'm used to being treated with love. I'm used to feeling like I belong. I'm used to feeling like people care about me. And then that starts to be your new reality. So when you walk into that room, you're now walking into the room as the person that is liked, as the person that is listened to, as the person that is cared about, as the person that is loved and valued and appreciated. And so you walk in with different body language, different energy, different perception. Because when you walk in with the prior perception, you're walking in waiting for someone to confirm all your bullshit to you. And even if they don't, you will find a way to confirm your bullshit to yourself. You will misconstrue compliments as insults. You will do whatever the you have to prove all those voices right. They're like, yes, I was wrong to come here. I don't belong here. I shouldn't have done this. I should be at home in bed because that's the only place I'm safe. Whereas when you have done everything that I outlined before and you love those parts of yourself until they feel loved, you get to walk into that environment with a different perspective, different energy, different body language, and different expectations. And when you expect to be treated like somebody who's loved and cared about and liked, people will treat you that way. But when you walk into an environment expecting to be treated like you don't matter, you will eventually train people to treat you that way. So the key to having confidence in every room that you walk into is finding all the parts of your personality that say it's not okay for you to be yourself and love them until that idea stops making sense. We've defined what confidence is, we've defined where a lack of confidence comes from, we've figured out what to do about it and all that sort of shit. Now you might be asking yourself, okay, well, how do I actually love those parts? Because again, that's another one of those things that is not clearly defined. And I do have more videos on this, and I'll go much deeper into it in my actual shadow integration course if you want to take that. But what I will give you for right now is simply this. The best place to start loving a part of your personality that doesn't like you and that you don't like is to first simply acknowledge it and allow it to exist. And this is really key, right? Because so many people go in and try to love different parts of their personality with the attempt to change them, but that's not actually love. That's manipulation and that's bullshit. Imagine somebody's treated you like shit your entire life. And then all of a sudden they decided that you could do something for them. And so now they're nice to you and now they're loving to you just so that you can do something for them. You're probably gonna tell that person to f themselves, just like anybody would. So you can't go into your own internal energy with a kind of manipulative transactional, just kind of shitty outlook. Instead, you need to go in there and be like, yo, I've treated you like you don't deserve to exist, and I'm sorry. So let me just, for a little bit, let me just allow you to exist. And this is the big thing, because people know that when you love something, it becomes healthier, and so they try and love so that it changes, but that's obviously manipulation. We covered that. But this is where it gets counterintuitive, is when you just allow something to exist as it is, that's what makes it healthier. It's like, because it's going from being punished all the time to just simply being allowed to exist. And what we defined as a definition of confidence early on is the ability to feel like it's okay for you to exist. If that's all you really need, that's all any of your other parts need. Because as soon as they feel like they are going to be loved exactly as they are, no matter what they do, they start to become healthier. But if you love them so that they will change, again, you're being shitty and manipulative. So the key is to just simply start by allowing it to exist. Like, yes, this part of me says, I can't walk into this party because people are gonna hate me. Like, okay, that part of me says that. It must be really freaked out to believe that. So let me just hold it for a little bit and be like, damn, you must be freaked out. And if I'm there for you, and I'm truly there for you, then eventually you will calm down, and I'll help you see things in a little bit of a different way. Like I said, this is about as far as I can go on a YouTube video covering another topic. If you want to go deeper, take my shadow integration course. But for as how to begin the loving process, it's just start to understand that these parts of you are only acting this way because they're in a lot of pain. And if you just give them a little bit of space to exist and just give them a little bit of compassion, they will heal quicker than you can even imagine. Let me know if you have any questions about this, because it's a big topic. I can go deeper on any of it. But I'm Chris Roscoe. I love you, and I'll see you next time.